in, I'm so grateful for these lovely people that are here with me now, looking after me. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I behaved and thought that way. But then if you unravel it further back in past, you can understand why that was, he or she felt that way.
Yes, that's why everyone walks their own shoes and walks their shoes their way, and we never know we are in our shoes. So we never know their reality.
Yeah. So how are you arriving today?
I'm fine. I'm as I know I'm going to talk to you, that I'm going to co-create with you. It brings me into the heart already. I thought about that about 5 minutes ago, and I said, "Oh, look, I'm already in my heart," because I'm going to talk.
Yeah.
To co-create with you, and so I'm already. I'm there. I'm there. Just awesome.
I like that. There is that sense of, I think about different people that when I know that I'm going to speak to them, it automatically evokes a feeling. And so I get what you've said. And there's some that I speak to, and they're nothing wrong with them at all. But in some cases, there's a little bit of, I'll use the word tension, but it's one of, I've got to have my A game on. Whereas today, it's interesting, is it? So with those, I end up having, it almost feels as though I have to put my head on.
Yes.
my mind on rather than my heart open.
Yes.
Or have my heart open as well.
Yes.
In those cases.
Yes.
But with this, I can just sit in the space with you with an open heart.
Yes. Yes. I think it's resonance, no? Resonance. Because you I know also I'm meeting, and also at work also I'm meeting with different people, and yes, the mind has to be there because but number one, they're all in their mind, and number two, it has to be on besides the heart. The heart is always there, no, open. The intention is always to be there and talk from the heart, but the mind is there because of the clues or because of the way to. Some of them are very nervous and and they don't let you talk, they cut you. So you somehow, even you try to be in the heart because you are more able to stay calm and just wait and then try to talk.
Yeah.
And you are again cut, but you wait and try to talk. But yeah, the mind is active. More
Great
active.
one. Like that. It has to be more active.
Yeah.
So the balance, where are we, gets dispersed. So there's perhaps a little bit more here than there is normally when we have that conversation. So more of it fits in there. There's more of a comfort with the silence, the allowing what wants to emerge to emerge. It doesn't feel like not a competition, but more of, it feels more effortless.
Yeah, it is effortless.
With you. Yeah.
And in the other cases, it takes effort and psychology.
Ooh, interesting.
That's why you have to, when you are in the mind, even we can say that there's no better psychologist than the heart. But,
Yeah.
but we automatically go into the mind because of the way we should say things, no, the psychology.
Yeah.
Even if we are in the heart, but and even if we could do it also by being in the heart and not so much mind, but it's our response, no? That we really have, in this case, it's nice. It's a nice reminder, Colin, thank you, really, because everything is about exploration, experiencing, and practicing.
Yeah.
So when we are
Yes.
in those cases with this kind of relationship, it's nice to experience, observe, no, and then know that we are experiencing this mind working more than the heart, and to practice to go down to the heart and talk from there, no?
Yeah. And I'm wondering, when you've said, as you said that, because we talk about moving from reacting to responding, and is to notice an action or words that have arrived, and notice the reaction it's triggering us. So we notice there's potentially a reaction coming, and to go, oh, hang on. Now, how will I respond to that? Rather than or like this. It's like, hang on, I don't need to do that. And I'm wondering whether that moves us from a head to a heart. And what does the heart say? Like somebody cuts you up, yeah, I'm shouting. But if you don't do that, what's the heart saying? Would be, it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Give that person love. We don't know why they've done what they've done. Now, of course, they could be just crazy drivers, but it could be that it's a person on a mission to get to the hospital or to a loved one or whatever. We don't know.
No.
And if I don't carry that, if I let that go, like, it's okay, then but you could carry that for miles and miles and miles. They don't, because they don't even know that
No.
they've done anything.
No, they in their mind, they're in their thing.
Yeah.
And also, if they are crazy drivers, it's for them to be crazy drivers. At the end, it's respecting that they are crazy drivers, and that's why they just did what they did. No.
Yeah. And nothing I say or do is going to stop that.
Yeah.
Short of racing after them, being similarly crazy, cutting them up and pulling over and then getting up.
It's worse.
And what are you going to do? You get out and the guy's a boxer or something. It's like, oh, well, that wasn't very clever of me to do that. Yeah.
And I observe myself many times when I'm in those conversations where I'm cut, and I observe myself saying, okay, wait, don't jump in, no, just let them talk. Also, when you want to say something, no, wait, listen,
Yeah.
and then you talk, no.
Yeah.
And it's this going in and not reacting, really listening, seeing what your thoughts are saying, and be more clever than your thoughts, and say, no, stop, wait, listen. You don't have to jump in now. You jump in when the person has finished, and that's it.
Such an interesting point you've raised. And because of the way you've talked about it and the way I talked about being cut up, right, in traffic, but you've also talked about being cut in conversation. And I just joined the dots together, which you've helped me to do, which is actually, there's no difference. We don't know why they did that, right? It could be they are a crazy metaphorical, not crazy, conversationalist, they're unaware, right? So that the crazy driver is unaware of the impact that he or she is having.
Yes.
Similarly, we don't know the reasons why the person interrupts us, cuts us up, cuts us off. It could be that they don't know any different.
Yeah.
They've never experienced being heard. They've never experienced the opportunity to just talk without interruption. So there's an opportunity for us to role model that and demonstrate that. There's another, which is, I just need to be heard. So they don't even feel heard. They need to talk. They need to get something off their chest. And you've just joined up the dots. So I really appreciate your, I know it is your wisdom or your thinking maybe on that. It's the same. And so in the same way, if I hold on to my grudge, unhappiness, annoyance, that's probably the better word, annoyance, that you've interrupted me. I've moved somewhere else. I can't hear them fully. If I did, I might understand why they did what they did.
Yes.
Doesn't mean it's right or wrong, just that I'm understanding it now.
Yes.
Okay. And one of the things that Nancy Klein talks a lot about is considerations. And so what is it that you need, sorry, not you, but the other person needs now? And actually, maybe they just need to be heard. In which case, because I'm now not over there, I'm here, I can listen to them with my whole heart, with encouragement, with support, non-verbally encouraging them so they feel heard, and asking that lovely question of, and what more? And so it's also an opportunity. I love it. To role model it, and also to enable them to experience feeling heard and feeling valued. Wow. I've never thought of it like that. That's wonderful. That's it.
That's it.
We can do. Right. It's been lovely spending time.
No, I jump now with that. I jump to another to our email. Because also we might be living, since we're living in the heart, we respond differently.
Yes.
We are in a different space than others. Than others that react through the mind. So we could say we are in a different dimension.
Yeah.
At least it's a different vibration.
A different energetic vibration. Yes.
Energetic
agreed.
vibration. No? So sometimes we think the other person might be needed to be heard, but in reality, they don't even care.
Yeah, we don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know. So, but let's say the frequency is different, and their view of the world is completely different.
Yeah.
And I know that we get very much separated by that, not by this. There are people like us that are to grow. No, we are here to grow and expand and learn to be love, no, and co-create and be uniqueness. And the other ones that are just living their lives in the external world, not from the outside in,
Yes.
and we have learned to live from the inside out, and that's how we live every day.
Yeah, we seek
So there
to,
are two
yes.
realities.
Yes. And sorry, carry
Yeah,
on.
no.
Yeah.
I mean, there are really two realities that I think we start seeing them every day more and more. The one that is really nerved and the other ones that are, and the ones that follow the god of football, the god of and the other ones that really know they are God themselves, the universe within.
Yeah.
And I what I see is a lot of, I see many like us, and then in LinkedIn we get connected a lot.
Yeah.
There are many, even if
Oh, yeah.
we think or are told that there are not many.
Yes.
But yeah, no. So it's like the two earths, two worlds. I co well, not co-living, because they're not co-living. They are in parallel. No, two worlds that are being manifested, being seen, and maybe they start separating.
Okay. So,
There's the old world, which is what living from the outside in, and there's the new earth, which is the living from the inside out.
yes. And I think so my thoughts on that, there's some subtle differences.
Mm-hmm.
One is, I think the description you said of wanting to effectively love and be loved
Mm-hmm.
in the world. I think we all have that.
Yeah.
And so I think we are all in that one energy.
Yes.
And I think my sense is that the environments that we get brought up in condition us to go one, usually the other way, which is very much self-interested.
Mm-hmm.
And there comes a point in our lives, and usually it's as we get older and we'd like to think wiser, we start to question all that and start to let go of all of this conditioning and to come to, I guess, more like how we arrived on this earth, with a sense of knowing that we are love, but it doesn't mean that, for me, and I'm not suggesting you said this,
Yeah.
that we're any less than them.
No.
We're just in a different energetic vibration.
Yes.
And it's almost like the yin and the yang, the dark and the light, that in order for there to be light, there has to be the dark. The light casts the shadow. And it's been able to appreciate both of those, however extreme they are, and go, yes, I can be both of those, but I'm choosing to be this. To go through the world believing that I'm all of this sort of pious and all of that, as that no, I couldn't possibly be like that. Of course we can.
No. We have everything within. Yes.
Right. So we make choices all the time to be in this particular path, and I think the learning comes as we, like even just today, when we talk about how we react, noticing that we react, and start to choose to respond, brings us more into this space more and more. And it's a learning.
Yes.
And if we can, it's like that. They say we've got to go to war for peace. War, it's the wrong energy for arriving at it, right?
Yeah.
So we need peace to create peace.
Yes.
And it's that role modeling. So role modeling that hitting someone is the answer only creates more of that.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas actually, was that they've had demonstrators putting flowers or giving flowers to the police or the guards, or putting flowers into the ends of the rifles, and just being peaceful makes it really hard for the police to be as hard on us. I'm not saying they won't be, but we're kind of pricking their empathy and their compassion, because this is not a violent protest. This is a peaceful protest for peace. And so it is again, each time I come back to it more and more, we are what we want the world to be. We need to be it first.
Yes.
Because, love you as much as I do, I can't change who you are. And in fact, I've got enough to do, big enough to me in that respect. And so it's a life journey, or one could say many lives journeys. And if they are that person in this life who's forever cutting people up or cutting people off, that's their journey today or this lifetime. And, then assuming they come back in another lifetime, it'll be in a different body, in a different environment, different circumstances. But I just continue to see more, if you look at others as equals, that maybe they're a different part of their journey. We're all on the same journey, effectively, the journey home. And wherever you are on your journey, could I assist you? Could I walk with you? That's what it is, I think. How can I walk with you, whoever you are, wherever you are on your journey?
I think we can.
Yeah.
And I think that also it goes back. There are some prisoners, for instance, that have done certain things, but you never know why they did certain things. So really, being there for them in love might awaken their love that they have just suppressed because of what has happened to them.
Yeah.
For instance,
they may never have had any love.
So they don't
because
know.
Their family never had love from their family.
Yes.
Etc. Etc.
Yeah.
And I remember meeting a guy who was he'd given a presentation. He's in his 50s. He'd served 20 years in prison because him and his mate murdered 2 people when they were late teens. And he was talking. He wasn't talking to get what's the word?
The acceptance of the
acceptance. Thank you. Yes, right. What he was saying is just giving you another view of what life is like. And so every day he wakes up, he looks out the window, and it's a lovely day. And he says that every day he does this, he looks out, and he knows that the people he murdered will not be able to do that. And so he fully understands his role in it, and his punishment has been done. And he's a beautifully changed man. But as you say, look back and what his life was like that caused him and his mate to do what they did.
Yes.
You go, that lovely phrase of, if I'd had the life you've had, it's entirely possible I would have done what you've done.
Yes, yes. And that's why I also believe that living in the now is so important, and not looking back, not the past. It's the past, And in these cases, many people say people cannot change, but we can always change.
Yeah.
Completely.
It's never too late.
It's never too late. You always can change from within.
Yeah.
So because change comes from within, like you were saying before. So you can always change. Even if you're 90, you can always change because you have the choice to change today.
Yeah. I remember someone who was, I saw them when they were close to passing, and they were, let's say, in their previous life, not previous life, but earlier in their life, they'd have been very derisory towards certain people. And in their final days, they were being served by these same people. And as you said, they had a change. As in, I'm so grateful for these lovely people that are here with me now, looking after me. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I behaved and thought that way. But then if you unravel it further back in past, you can understand why that was, he or she felt that way.
Yes, that's why everyone walks their own shoes and walks their shoes their way. And we never know, we are in our shoes. So we never know their reality.
Yeah. You know, and if I sat down with that man, the man who did the murder, with the open heart that we talk about, and be willing to listen and hear his story, I believe we couldn't help but be more, yes, let me say it as I think it is, we couldn't help but love them.
Yeah. True.
And people go, how could you love a murderer?
You have labeled him.
Beautifully, yes. He's a human being on his or her journey home. So as we said earlier, can I walk that path a little with him, alongside him or her? Whatever they've done, whatever's happened, and to understand as a little piece of their life. And we know when it's all just bullshit. You know, they're just this is the front and the front and the front, and that's all we see. Little by little, as they feel safer with you, with I, whoever, because you go, you know what? I've never told this to anyone, but you know, this is what my life was like, and this was the cause of why I did what I did. Whenever I've said it before, people think it's an excuse, but this is what life was like for me in those early days. You know, my father beat me, whoever sexually abused me, this and this, you know, one after another. It's like, wow. And I think in doing that, we also feel more grateful for the life we've had.
Yes.
Those sorts of things. Yeah.
Yes. It reminds me of a book I'm reading. Don't have it.
So, have you got it? You got the book?
No, I don't have it here. But it's the code. It's called the Sophia code. Okay.
The
Sophia, like God, the God code, but it's Sophia code, and it's from I know her last name is Ra. Kaya Ra.
Kaya.
Okay. And Kaya, she wrote this book, she channels. Kaya was born in all this pedophilia ring, no, abused every day.
Wow.
And I don't know how old she is now, but well, luckily she wasn't killed, and she's survived that, and started her life, and she said she always channeled because she was in a ring in a place where it was for children that were psychologically, it was like an experiment, but with the abuse in there. Okay,
Right.
elite pedophilia.
Okay.
But in her book, it's not about it. It's about her book, The Sophia Code. I saw an interview by her, and in her book she writes it. She had all of that happening in her, and she was quite lost with writing the book. And she recovered. But
Okay.
the thing is, she's saying, I accept myself with what happened to me, and I accept what happened to me because I chose it. Well, she says, no, I
Wow,
chose it
that's
before I
huge.
came to that. I chose everything to be today where I am today.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she says acceptance is able to let go of what
I like
happened
that.
to her and what happened to her in her case, no? So
Yeah.
her victimhood and all those things, which is natural with being every day more than one time sexually abused and all those things she saw.
Yeah.
But with accepting, she said, I'm letting go, and I accepted that I was going through that
Yeah.
to grow and to do what I do today. It's
Yeah.
amazing to
Yeah.
really be able to let go of something like that,
Yeah.
a nightmare until you were 17 or something, and just accept it and say, I'm fine. And I know I had to go through that,
I
and I'm
chose,
grateful for that.
yeah, I chose to have that experience.
Yes.
And that's a hard one for a lot of people is why would you choose to have that
Yeah.
experience?
Yeah.
Because it's all about experiences
Yeah.
and how we, back to where we said earlier, how we respond to those experiences. And, in the case the guy who did the murder, in the case of this particular lady, they look back and they're grateful for it happening,
Yes. Because yeah.
and you go, are you on drugs or something to think that? But it's a different way of seeing the world.
Yes.
We don't know. I mean, I happen to believe that is the case. That we have choices before we arrive,
Yeah.
and we live the life. We live lives. We have many lives,
Yes.
but that's not for everyone, and that's absolutely fine.
Yes.
We'll find out.
One time and another.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah,
She says, with that, I understood that many people ask themselves, why is it happening to me? Why me? Why me? No? And she says, because I chose it. So there's nothing else to say. It's me, my responsibility. It has been me and my higher self, and I'm grateful for that because I am where I am, and I've
yeah,
seen many things.
yeah. And I was talking to someone in a similar vein about the passengers on the planes that crashed into the Twin Towers, and this is what I was told is that there was people were queuing up in before they came to be born to have that experience, because every one of those that had that experience knew that they would make a difference in the world by them being on that plane and that plane doing what it did or being driven into them. They were part of that whole experience that had a profound impact on the world in lots of positive ways as well as many negative ways. But there was a huge outpouring of love at that time for everyone.
For everyone.
You it was like everything sort of kind of stopped, and it's like, what is happening? And there was almost for me a sense of gratitude that I'm still here, and that my loved ones are still here. But for many, their loved ones are not there anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. It was again. It was a strong duality, no, because I was there, and strong duality. Again, the duality is always strong, I guess, of fear, fear, but
Yeah.
also love,
Yeah.
because
Both
of
sides again.
oneness, of being there together, of embracing each other, of no, and then the ones that were in fear, all this dense energy, that you were able to feel
Yeah.
being there, because there was a lot of fear.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when I was walking in the streets, and when it happened in Manhattan, there was a lot of density, but at the same
You
time,
you were in Manhattan when it
yes,
happened.
I lived in
Oh, I didn't
Manhattan.
know that.
Yeah, I lived there.
Right.
I
So
went to do my driver's license, and I saw one of the towers was already with fire, and I asked the taxi driver what happened. Oh no, it seems a little airplane or something. We don't know. So I went into my driver's license. But well, we were evacuated around 12 because I was next to the Empire State Building. So I had to
okay.
walk home. I was next to United Nations, living next to United Nations.
Okay. Okay.
So I had to walk. When I went down into the street, people were walking up from ground zero in
Yeah.
dark, no? With and there was very strong smell. And there was a lot. It was very dense, a lot of sadness.
Yeah.
But I, it wasn't people running. Everyone was walking uptown, walking in
Mm-hmm.
their I don't know, in the reality, um, but not shouting. No, it was very with all that. There was a lot of calmness also. I don't know how to express
Mm-hmm.
it, but it was very dense, very dense. But at
Right.
the same time, afterwards, there was a lot of people coming together and supporting each other, yes. But
Yes.
there was also the other part, the fear that was being pushed in through the news media and all the things. There was
Yes.
only
Yes.
fear pushing it. And that's when I decided never again to listen to the news.
Oh my goodness. So that was
It
a
was
moment
this,
for you.
yeah, December 2001. I said,
Right.
no
Right.
more, no more. They're not telling me, they're manipulating me. I'm not going to, I'm in fear because, and that's not real. So I
Right. So
never more believed in the news
so you were there on really on the
on site.
ground,
Yeah.
yeah, alongside it, and you also were able to see and hear all of the differing views of what's happened and the reaction and the response and all of those things, and you almost looked around and went, no, I'm not having any of that
No, in
anymore.
December, it took me 2 months or three
Yeah.
months to
Yeah.
say I'm not going to play along anymore.
What was your, I mean, I've never met anyone who was, effectively
Yeah.
there. So the first was, it sounded as though it could have been a small plane that's hit the one of the twin
Hmm.
towers, and obviously a disaster, but and very sad, but one of those things. And if it had been that case, that it would have been, it would, sounds awful, been over quite quickly, and it would have, and a small plane would not have brought the one of the wouldn't have brought it down,
No.
right? Which is extraordinary anyway.
Yeah. It
But
wasn't
then,
there wasn't such that much fume. There was just one corner that was
yeah, and
the
what's
first one.
interesting is that even when you sort of, well, what's happened? Oh, it looks like a small plane hit the twin
Hmm.
towers. Oh, okay. And this isn't about you being callous or cold. It's like, oh my
No.
goodness. I've got other things I need to
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
Right?
yeah,
You went in there.
yeah. It was 8:51 or 8:50 something when I went into the
Wow.
driver's license part. So it wasn't much. It was
Yeah.
one corner that was fuming, but it
Yeah.
you didn't. There was nothing else around.
Right. And so then you came out and you could see all these people coming to, so presumably at this stage had the second
Everything,
plane.
and no, it
Had,
had fallen already
oh,
because
so
it was 12 a.m. P.m.
oh, right. So
Because
you were in there for a period of time.
yeah, because I did the test and it was approved, and I was waiting for the stamp. And while I was waiting for the stamp, we heard. I didn't have a mobile phone there. We heard. It was told to us, and there's this an well, and everyone, we will stay here. We cannot. No one will leave, but we have to know if there are nurses or doctors. We need please to people come here and doctors and nurses and to help, no?
Yeah.
But we were evacuated 12 p.m. because we were next to the Empire State Building, and they were saying that maybe
B.
attacks.
Yes.
So
Yes.
and when I went down into the street, um, people were walking up already.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they had already fallen.
And I'm guessing, does it feel like it's yesterday?
Yeah, it's those moments in times you never forget that what happened,
Yeah.
no?
Yeah. I had no
And
idea you
how,
were there.
yes.
Wow.
Yes, yes, it was yeah, and somehow awakening. Um, I was pushed into the manipulation, let's say. I felt this because I moved in, especially I was the lab, no, the part of the lab. For instance, once the Grand Central Station was open, I went with my boss. She took me in at her home outside Manhattan for 3 days.
Okay.
And then because I was in the middle, you know, next to United Nations where I lived.
Which could have been another
Yeah, they
place
were
to
saying
attack.
that they evacuated at 9:15 or something. And that's why my family was searching for me
Oh
because
my
they
gosh.
called UNICEF and they were saying, no, Jeannette is not here today.
Oh
Yeah, because I
gosh.
was going the driver's license. So
License,
they didn't
yeah.
know where I was until I arrived for 12:30.
Yes.
And I wasn't able to call anyone, but I found my ex-father-in-law and I said, I'm okay. Don't worry, I'm okay. And then I went
Did you?
out.
Yeah.
So afterwards we moved, my ex-husband and I, we moved upstate, and
Yeah.
every day we had to take the train to Manhattan. And that's when you had those amber alerts every day, you know? Oh, they're going to attack us. Oh, there's a nuclear plant that was next some towns and upstate, some towns away from my town. And they were saying that it was going to be bombarded.
Yep. Yep.
People to take a pill, and I don't know what to do. And with that, I said, no, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm
You
not
can.
going to follow you anymore.
It's the fear. The fear is created.
Yeah, they
And
created fear
yep. And
out of that
manipulation.
event.
Yeah.
So yeah, that I decided not to follow anymore, and I manipulated. It's manipulation. I didn't.
Yeah. And have you therefore? So when you've done that, so so presumably you don't watch the news, you don't watch it, you don't read it. Do you? Are you? How are you therefore aware of or not? I mean, it's not a judgment of events in the world.
But you're aware of by friends or by no or reading by yourself, not being pushed. And you know, when you read, you don't take all the fear
Yep.
in the way it's written. You cross, so you know what's happening, or you know what they say it's happening. You never know what's happening.
Right.
And also in Venezuela, I've been in many putches, well, 2 putches or something. And one thing was the news that was given outside, and the other thing is what really was happening in Venezuela, in the streets. So I really don't believe in things that are shown by TV, through the TV. Never.
Yeah. Yep.
You know?
Very
So
true. Very true.
So I'm aware of what's happening so through my channels, and I read and know there are different views. I just know I don't know because I'm not there. But what's happening, yes. I'm just not sitting in front of it.
Right. So there's an awareness, but not being taken in by it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. And because they're just events.
Mm-hmm.
And how we respond to them, and also, and it's very true in this country. I mean, we just had an election, literally yesterday, and a new government has been brought in.
Yes, that's sort of,
Right, and even at their finish, the leader of the opposition, or what was the government that was in power, the Conservatives, are still saying they're proud of the record that they've done. And you walk around the country, not that I've done it, but if you go to different parts of the country and actually talk to people, it's nothing like they're talking about. All right. And then you get the newspapers that support that because that's where they've got their money invested, etc. And then they support that. They've done a great job. It's just nothing like the truth.
no, nothing is like it.
You'd think that the UK was having a great time. We're really successful. Things are fine. But we just, I mean, it's a slightly off target or tangent, but I need to get a blood test. So I had a blood test in March. I think, no, March, maybe April. Anyway, whatever it wasn't that long ago I had one.
Yeah.
And because we had a hack in the NHS, they've not had any more results. Fine. So now I've got a new set of, I've got to make another appointment, and I can't get one yet anywhere to have blood tests.
Yeah, because now supposedly there are so many people doing blood tests.
Yeah, and and you just go, wow, that's pretty good. Not, like I remember times when I was younger, when you could phone up and get an appointment that morning or that afternoon with the doctor.
Yes.
And you went to the doctor because you were poorly.
Yeah.
Now people are going, do I want to have that bother?
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, that's a digression.
No, but it aligns. My mom also, she's been told that everything is so fully booked and everything for the private, in this case, private medical appointments or doing certain tests. But when she says, when I go there, and they made me go, she said, one time at 11:30 p.m. because there was any other slot. And she said, I arrived there and there was no one around, no one else waiting. So I went there, I did it, and then when I exited, there was no one. So she says, I'm being told everything is busy, but the reality is they just create this thing that everything is busy, but it's not there. There's no one waiting like me.
Yeah.
So
wow.
that's why I say everything is about perception. Everything is about we go back into, we don't really know what's happening with other people. We don't really know what's happening around unless people that have lived it tell us. But we cannot believe people, like people, I mean news, or anyone that is talking on behalf of something.
Yeah.
I don't believe until I don't know. I just say I don't know. I hear, could be, could not be. But I haven't heard anyone that is there.
That's one of the things I often say is, actually, I can't have an opinion.
No.
Because I don't know.
I don't know.
And so many things are far more complicated than what we believe them to be, or what we, if you were to read the papers, what the papers believe it to be.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and this could be the war in Ukraine, the war in in Gaza, all of those things. It's far more complicated than the little slither of news that we get out.
Yes.
And by the way, each of the newspapers has a different lens on it, because they are supporters of the left or the right or the centre or whatever. And so I can relate to what you said. Well, where do I get my news from?
No, you just read the left, the right, and everything, and you discern, you take in. You don't know. If someone tells you because they are there, you say, okay, I understand. And it will always be their situation.
Yeah.
But at least it's something closer.
And also, if you take what we were saying earlier about we've all chosen to be here for the life we're having, then all this that's happening is a choice. And somebody was saying the other day that they were concerned because they didn't have hope. And I watched a clip from, I think it's Charles Essenstein, and he said, the reason for hope is that you are here now. If there was no hope, you would not be. And I really like that, is that we're here to make the difference, to change the trajectory, to bring, because if we're all choosing, we're having these experiences, but actually what would be the message for those people arriving is that you're here to make the difference. The work you do, the work I do, as you said right at the beginning, it appears to be not many of us, but actually when you start to look, actually there's an awful lot of people who are in this space and I think we have an opportunity to call the hearts of others, and it's not by, we can never do it by telling. It's done by showing.
Yes, always by showing, so by being.
Yes.
And then people to learn by themselves being.
Yeah.
So that they can experiment it.
Yeah.
And then they are, being.
Yeah, they notice.
Yeah. You can never push anyone to do anything or to be anything if they don't choose to be themselves.
Yeah. So just be that radiator of the light, radiator of the love. Be this open-hearted.
Yes.
Friend of mine, Andy Bradley, when he leaves the train, he blesses, he slows down and he blesses all the passengers as they walk off the platform ahead of him.
Oh, wow.
And it's that, you think about the energy that he's putting out all the time, wherever he walks, he's radiating that energy because it comes from within.
Yes.
And it's one of those, he's not doing it to get anything.
No.
He's doing it because he can't not do it.
Yes.
Which I think is lovely.
Him. It's him.
Yeah, it's him.
It's
beautiful, yes. It's him. Yeah. So it's his true essence and people notice it. They'll say, I don't know what it is, but whenever I'm in a room with you, Andy, I always feel safe. I could tell you anything.
Yeah, nice.
And so what is it you're doing, Andy? I'm not doing anything. And as Nick Askew says, there's nothing to do and no one to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe that's where we've talked about this before, the doing, the being,
Mm-hmm.
but also the be apostrophe ing,
Yes.
to be.
Yes.
That's all we need to do, is just be.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
There's no
It's
other
simple.
thing.
No.
Yeah.
It's simple. Just let yourself be.
But it causes us to have to go in and settle and calm and just be.
Yes. And that's when we are living from the inside out. And that's when we are able, since we are in the beings, we are centered, we are able to discern and see what's happening around us, what we are being told, what we are being pushed, and be able to stay in and say, okay, yeah, maybe not, this is okay, but I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm being. So you're centered and you are deciding, choosing every moment the best for who you are. In the way you think, in the way you feel, in the way you know through your heart what's best for you. And that's it. And the outside things can happen, but you don't play along.
Yeah, you just observe.
You observe.
Yeah,
you
notice.
Choose.
Yeah. And so if I get to that space of to just be, and I sit with you, and you're in that same space of to just be, does there become just the one?
Yes, because we are connected.
And there's no separation. We've arrived in this togetherness.
Yes.
And it could be you and me. It could be you and me and 7 billion others, all sitting in that be space.
Yes.
And we would know it and wouldn't fear it.
No.
And we wouldn't even need to speak.
No. Connection through love. It's the oneness. And I believe that's where we're going. That's where we are able to go if we choose.
Or we already are in that place. And that these are distractions. The lives we live are distractions from that. And do these distractions enable us to maybe appreciate that be state more?
Once we have seen the light within us. The other day I heard that to be enlightened is really to see your light. And as you see your light, you cannot unsee it anymore. So
nice.
Once you see that, you are able to see the distractions, or you are able to see what's happening outside. You are able to see what's mirroring you, and you are able to grow from all that is happening around, because you are responding to it through changing yourself to continue growing.
Yeah, and the change is more being almost as though the change isn't I'm becoming different. I'm becoming more of who I am, because I'm coming closer and closer to that being state, and realizing that everything else is outside. Outside
in, no?
Is the more I come to my inside, I notice then that all of this stuff is just outside.
Yeah. Wait, I had to write it. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm conscious of time. Wow.
Yeah. It goes so fast, no?
It does. So what do I appreciate about you today? Is there's a little bit about playfulness. There's a willingness to explore, and but over and above, it's your open heart. Yeah, I appreciate your open heart that enables all of this to flow with ease and grace. Yeah, thank you.
I appreciate your curiosity and your. I always do when I'm with you. Your it's the curiosity to explore and expand. At the end, is to connect the dots.
Yeah.
And but also through this open heart. If you and me, we are such a. We connect, we are oneness when we are here together, and I feel very nurtured, and I appreciate it, and I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah, likewise. I love that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Wonderful time.
Yeah, it goes so fast.
Indeed.
Thank you.